Hi, this is Hui Xu from Inner Art of Music. We use different hand and finger positions for playing the piano. It depends on the style of the music. We use a flatter finger position to play more legato melodic line phrases to create the singing voice. And we use more curved finger position to play fast running passages to create the clarity of articulation. In this video, I will only talk about what the correct hand position is for playing scales. Before discussing the hand position on scales, one thing I want to mention is always we need to remember keep our nails short, cut them regularly. Many times we need to use our fingertips to play on the keyboard to create those kind of clarity and crystal sound quality. Okay, trust me, if you have long nails, you never can achieve that kind of articulation on the keyboard. Also, long nails can be considered non-professional. Several things need to be kept in mind before playing the scale. We need to have a correct hand position and then wrist level, use independent fingers, and create the clarity of the sound quality. To be able to have a most natural posture for our hand position, I usually suggest students to have their arms alongside of the body and be relaxed. And when you move up your arm, have your hands on the keys. See, this is the most natural hand position for playing on the piano. Your fingers are automatically curved, right? And then see, you have a C shape here between your thumb and index finger. So this is the correct hand position for playing scales. Another reason I recommend you to have a curved finger position to play on the scales is to avoid collapse of joint fingers. That's a common problem for some students. Okay, they use this kind of finger shape, especially the first knuckle is clapped. So that's a wrong finger position. You won't produce very good, clean and clear sound quality when you use this kind of finger shape. This is wrong position. To be able to have a good independent fingers, we need to have a proper stand-up finger position like this, no claps at all. And we try to lift up our fingers independently when we play scales in slow tempo. The reason I suggest my students to lift up their finger practice is they can activate your fingers better when they play in a faster tempo. Think about a runner. A runner does high knees and heel kicks as warm-up exercises before running to avoid injuries. Same for us, the pianist. We use this kind of lifting up fingers exercises to practice before virtuosic pieces to stretch our fingers better. Okay, and another thing I want to mention is if you don't do those kind of lifting up exercises, you may produce a sticky sound. A lot of students, they play scales, they never lift up their fingers. They play like this. Can you hear the overlapping sound between notes? And then it's kind of, I call it a sticky sound. So back to the runner example. If a runner doesn't lift up their legs when they run, they never can run very fast. So my suggestion is there are various height, how high your finger need to lift up. I want to discuss about that right now. is when you play in the slow tempo, you can lift up higher. When you play in the faster tempo, you should have a little distance. You know, you still need to have a distance, but a little distance from the keys, so that you can have space to run. This is my demonstration. See, the sound is very clear and clean. So I think that's all for my suggestions about how to play scales and then what the correct hand position for scales playing. And my next video, I will talk about what's the correct hand position for playing arpeggios. If you have any questions, you may leave comments for me. I'll see you next time.